You are watching Access to Port County, Channel 97. Coming up next, the Michigan City Sanitary Board meeting of June 22nd, 2022. You can get more information on this meeting by going to www.accesstoportcounty.org.
I would like to call to order the Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022 meeting of the Board of Commissioners. Mr. Smith, our president, was unable to attend today, so it'll be the three of us, and I do believe we have a quorum. Roll call, please.
Holt Ettinger present.
Chris Yagowski present.
Tim Werner present. Tim Smith absent. We do have a quorum, so okay. Let's move on to item 3, approval of the minutes. We have the minutes for the regular board meeting of Wednesday, May 25th, and the special board meeting of Tuesday, June 14th. I don't know if you board members have had a chance to review. One thing I did notice, and it's been corrected, was the June 14th special meeting. The heading called for regular meeting, and that's been changed to special meeting in the heading of the minutes. Any other comments? You would have a motion to approve. Can I do both minutes at the same time or individually?
Yeah. And I'll second both.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Motion carries. Minutes are passed. Public comment. Public comment period. Any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment?
Before you move on, wasn't that June meeting June 2nd?
No, there was one on the 2nd and one on the 14th.
Oh, but there's no minutes for the 2nd?
We approved
We
those.
approved it last
Okay.
during the special.
Never mind.
Yep. Okay. All right, item 5 on the agenda, Long Beach Sewer Project. Jim, can you take over on discussion of that for us, please?
Yeah, last night the city council voted down the rate ordinance, the Long Beach rate ordinance. So that was the only mechanism. The rates charged the customers of that sewer project would have been the only source of revenue for paying the bonds that would be required from the SRF financing to fund the project. And since the ordinance was voted down, the project, as far as I can tell, is dead. I don't know if I haven't talked to anybody from Long Beach. If they have, I don't know of any possible alternative, but I guess theoretically they could come up with something. But as of right now, from the board's perspective, I would say that the project is dead.
So we have no further action that we need to take on this. It would be up to Long Beach to contact us and
if they want to do
try to move forward
anything,
some other direction.
well, there are certain timelines that are going to blow through, of course. The Indiana Finance Authority only gave us through July, till the end of July, to close on the financing. To close on the financing, you had to pass, the council had to pass the ordinance. And that didn't happen, so we're not going to be closing on any financing with IFA. And IFA's been notified about that. The council's turning down the ordinance, so they know there's not going to be any financing through the SRF anyway, at least not for 2022 and 2023. Like I said, I'm not aware of any other theoretical possibility for this project to proceed, but you know, I guess in theory the town could come up with something, but they would have to come up with the $10-11 million, and I don't know where that would come from. So, but yes, we should give the town some time to figure it out, and then I would project that nothing will be available. So at the next board meeting, I will have prepared a motion to rescind the resolution that you guys passed, saying that the project should go forward, which would, in essence, kill the project. On paper, for practical purposes, it's dead, because you can't have a project without funding. But
So would you recommend a letter to Long Beach notifying them of their option? I mean, the ball's in their court, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I can send them an email to that effect, but that's kind of been the way it's been the whole time. And their board president, Bob, Dr. Bob, I can't remember. LeMay was there last night, so I mean, he knows what happened.
The money's expended thus far by the sanitary district. We have an MOU with Long Beach.
Yes.
How do we proceed with
Well,
that
we're gonna
issue?
have to get our invoices together, you know, of the bills that we paid, and begin the process of sending them an invoice.
Is that something like that we'll be able to do relatively shortly, or?
I would think so. Look for guidance from our attorney on that.
Well, I'm not gonna put anything together because I don't pay any bills.
I will have
But
it.
Scott will have it done probably in a week or so. It's
I will
not-
have it done for the next board.
Thank you. There was a issue B, 5B on our agenda, the remonstrator lawsuit. What can you tell us about that?
That's pending, which will be dismissed. Now,
Now that the job
projects, yeah, the purpose of the lawsuit was to stop the project.
All right, any other questions on 5 on our agenda? Okay. Dan, safety?
Good afternoon. During the month, we had a very good month. We did have 2 injuries. As you can see on the report, I've covered the information regarding the actions we've taken to prevent reoccurrence. Just the only thing I have to mention is sort of a public service notice here that we really need for the public to keep in mind and understand that hazardous materials are not to be deposited in the trash. We had an incident where we actually had a fire that occurred in one of our truck hoppers. And that's potentially a very dangerous thing. And so we were able to extinguish that with the help of the fire department. And what we learned was that a flammable material was placed in a container, and in some manner or another it found an ignition source, and we had a fire in the hopper within the truck. So again, to the community, please use the hazardous waste and recycled services that are provided in LaPorte County. Each month there's a collection that's done, and that's posted. You can go to eMichigan City, go to the refuse recycling link, and then look on the left-hand side of the page and go to hazardous waste disposal, and you'll find all kinds of information that will help you in that regard. If you have any questions about what's hazardous and not, it's answered there. So to the community, please do not put hazardous waste in our trash containers. Very, very dangerous situation. That's all I have for today, unless there are any questions.
I guess I have a question more for Jim. Can we have a letter drafted indicating hazardous waste disposal issues and include that in our bills to the
Yeah, and as an insert, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be better to have a flyer, but however you do it, it can be done.
Is there something like that
The water department sends out our bills, so we don't have to
The solid
work with.
waste district has an actual letter informational.
Yes.
They put out, we could utilize that, they would gladly supply it if we put it in our mailing.
Okay. I'll work with Scott on that, and we'll try and get something out post haste.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Opening quotes, bids, or proposals. Item 7 on our agenda. Item A is the stormwater drainage correction project at 2510 Wabash Street.
Yes, and we have one bid here from Woodruff.
One quote to be accurate.
One quote, I stand corrected.
the quote is for a total amount of $132,717.88. 132,717.88.
And we also have a sole bidder for 404 Gulf Road. Gulf View. Sorry.
Bidder of that was also Woodruff.
Yes. The sole bidder.
The price is $93,897.88. 93897.88.
All right, well, it was discussed at our Long Beach Lakeshore Drive sewer project that one bid was acceptable to be processed. So can we, as the board, recommend review by the sanitary district and acceptance of these bids upon their review?
Yes. Since there's only one bid, there's no...
Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Scott, financial report.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'll start by reading the cash balances. The operating fund had a balance of $999,530.19. The operating municipal account had $1,623.29. The improvement fund had $920,221.47. Vehicle replacement had $124,464.04. Equipment replacement fund had $661,245.26. The operating grant fund had no balance, for a total in that bank account of $2,707,084.25. The Indian Springs project had $12,916.64. The Whippoorwill project had $677.76 for a subtotal of $13,594.40 in that bank account. The SRF debt reserve account had $499,768.40. The SRF bond and interest at $169,251.30 for a total at the Bank of New York or BNY Mellon of $669,019.70. The Stormwater Fund had $663,377.20. The Refuse Municipal account had $218.48. The refuse account had $706,264.43. The special revenue had $3,203.79. The levy excess had $8,522.14. The tax levy grant fund had $121,426.54. And the rainy day fund had no balance, for a total in that bank account of $1,503,012.58. So the subtotal before the Carwick remediation fund was $4,892,710.93. The Carwick remediation fund had $223,021.74 for total cash balances of $5,115,732.67. And just a few notes, pretty consistent with the past few months. The Long Beach design cost are, that's what I'll work on and get to you for the next meeting. And then we had the normal monthly transfers. We did make our first payment on the White Ditch project, so that'll be coming out of the tax levy grant fund. And the last thing is, we should get the spring tax settlement for the tax levy funds probably by the end of the week. There was something in the paper, they said they were gonna try to get it out by the 17th, but we should have it by the end of the week. So we should be, so those balances, you know, all go up again. And that's it, unless you have any questions.
Any questions? Nope. Thank you very much.
And then the next 3 pages, or the next 3 things in your book are, you know, the normal performance reports. And like, once again, if you go to the bottom, we're tracking right along the revenue and expenses for each of the funds. But the stormwater and refuse fund, the second and third ones, you'll see the cash coming in at the end of June. And also, but they're tracking right along. I did transfer the money from the stormwater fund into the collection fund because stormwater doesn't really have employees. They pay the collection fund in the operating to do like clean the ditches and stuff. So they reimburse the operating fund for that work. And that transaction will occur in June. So. And then the last thing I had, real quick, was I just put on there as a placeholder the 2023 budgets for refuse and stormwater. As Chris probably knows, the budget process is starting, and I believe you had a meeting today, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. And and this year, there's going to be a little change in that we are going to have to present to the city council the refuse and the stormwater budgets for 2023. They would like us to present to them this year. That's never happened since I've been here. There's a statute change where it kind of transitioned from the board here to the city council back in like 2018, I believe. And so now the city council, they used to rely on the board here to approve it, but now moving forward, they want a presentation. And really these 2 funds, there's really not a lot in either one. Refuse, it's all wages and benefits. Landfill charges, which are, you know, $500,000 a year. And then the repair and maintenance on the garbage trucks. And that's probably like 90% of that budget, 80% of that budget. And then stormwater is just maintaining the ditches and, you know, a few smaller capital projects. So I think there's like maybe 650, 700,000 budget for stormwater. So but I will have a first pass for next meeting, so you can see where we're at. But I just want to give you a heads up. And this presentation to the city council probably will occur in August.
To be clear, the city council has been approving your budget.
Yes.
For quite a while. They've just been looking at the paperwork. Once you approve it, it goes into their budget book. And they've been signing off on it. Apparently, they now want a warm body to ask questions about it.
Tomorrow.
And you're volunteering?
Yes. Yeah, I'll go. So, unless you have any questions. Okay, thank you.
All right, item 9 on our agenda, organizational update, proposed revisions to org chart. Says, Mike, is this something you want to handle and tell us what's up with the org chart changes?
Yes. I think for one, the human resources assistant, I believe, is on here. It wasn't here before, right?
That was missing, if I remember right, yeah. Oh, here it is.
More importantly, the city human resource director now as a dotted line to the board itself, as does the safety manager, as does myself, as attorney, and as does the city controller. Those are basically legal requirements. Also practically, every day on a day-to-day basis, they pretty much report to Mike and or his management team.
Is there any action that we as a board need to take on this organizational chart?
We should,
Thank you.
Approve the
if you're
change.
ready to vote on it.
Any questions?
So the dotted lines are appropriate.
Lines are dotted and the other lines are solid, so that's good. Any questions, Chris?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. The motion carries. And we have resolution number 1457-22, revised 2022 salary resolution. Jim, can you give us any assistance with this? Is there anything that we need to particularly look at here?
Well, I think you should ask Scott, because he mentioned to me this morning that there were a couple items, this is the first I've seen it,
Okay.
but there are a couple items that are a little bit different than the previously approved.
Just real quick, the only changes were the GIS coordinator. We've been looking at the market, and Steve wrote up a proposal, well, not a proposal, a merit increase. So what we did on the GIS coordinator was to get in line with other cities around this area. We increased to 10%. Originally, we thought we were going to go to the engineer 2 level, but we went 10%. So you can see it's still below the other engineers. But the GIS coordinator does a lot of work for all the departments of the city. I mean, and our current one has really organized everything in a much better fashion than it was. So anyways, that's one change that was made. The other change, 2 lines down, I added the customer account representative. That's a new position you just approved on the org chart. And that position is at the same rate as the receptionist dispatcher rate. So that rate didn't change. So
Wait a minute. My document shows customer account representative being 20 and the reception dispatcher being 22.
no, I'm talking the human resources assistant above.
Okay,
Those two, those were the 2 that were on the old org chart.
right.
So those are the same.
So the customer account representative is in a position that's open and you'll be trying.
No, all the bookkeepers, all these positions are filled except for interns. And we have there's one person fulfilling each of these roles. We don't have any multiple
Positions.
Yeah, more than one person doing a role. And then the other change I caught when I was correcting this down in the collection department. See that collection, maintenance, and training? It's the second line from the bottom on the first page. There was a typo, and it was $16.50. It should have been the same as the labor and as the driver, loader, and training and refuse. Now there's only one person that this affects. We only have one collection, maintenance, and training. Whereas in refuse, we have quite a few. We have like 10. But that one was correct. And those are the only 3 changes from the previous resolution. So I hope that helps. Any other questions?
Any questions? I have none.
There's really nothing else that changed.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thanks, Scott. Updated projects. Mike or Steve? Urgent sewer lateral tap repair, 325 Hobart Street. Steve just lost his spot.
Steve, would you please?
We've got an occupied residence here that has no sewer service right now. And so we've been in urgent request for quotes. We received one quote, which was the end of the day on Friday. We got this quote. That's for $19,838.88. This project falls under the 1974 policy where we would share the cost half and half with the property owner. The entire job is in the right of way, so that would apply to the whole total amount. I spoke with the property owner. You know, it's always heartbreaking to talk to people about expenses like this, but I'm going to put together the agreement that would allow her to make payments over time on it and share the cost 50-50. And my intention is to send that to her tomorrow. And if she's agreeable, it'd be time to get the contract papers done for Woodruff.
What is there a septic system now that the homeowner has been using, or?
Her lateral line has failed between the sidewalk and the main in the street.
Just looking at this, yeah.
And unfortunately, that main is 10.5 feet deep, so it makes the job cost more. The deeper it is, the more it costs.
I have no other questions.
So if they don't go along with the shared cost, to continue to go ahead and then put it on their...
Put a lien on their house?
I don't know if you did.
That's not wrong. That isn't typically what we do. It's not owner occupied. If they don't want to share the cost, I don't see them being able to rent the house.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with the urgent sewer lateral tap repair.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. None opposed. Motion carries. Thanks, Steve.
Okay. White ditch, all the trees got cut down, the culvert pipe got delivered. HRP submitted a pay request for the first third of the job. The report was submitted to the IFA on this. You know, Mr. Myers helped. They're happy with the report and the procurement process and all that sort of stuff. They really want to put off the rest of the job until fall and winter. And the habitat restoration would be in the springtime. The IFA is agreeable to that, because I explained that in the project report. So if they're agreeable to it, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be.
I agree. Yep. You don't need any action from us on it, right?
No. Like the filter building.
Before you proceed,
Yes, I'm sorry.
I know there's a written contract and there's probably a date in there.
Yes.
They need to submit a change order request for that date.
True that.
Both dates, substantial completion and final completion.
Filter building control system update. Shambaugh hasn't come back out to look at this. They gave us a $150,000 budgetary estimate. I think I presented at the last board meeting. Cheney Run, I've got no update on that one yet. Carwick dump site. Weaver Consultants did the spring habitat monitoring report. And the upshot there is we've got some herbaceous invasives in the restoration areas, and they're telling us we got maybe a 32% tree loss. There's a number in the permit that we got to hit for the trees making it. And I meant to look at that before this meeting, but I did not. I'll have that looked at for tomorrow, because we're going to do a walkthrough with Weaver Consultants in Woodruff tomorrow morning at 9. Nothing new to report on Strebel restoration project. Strebel lights, it was probably another month out at least before they get the material. On the 300 North and US 421 sewer project. It looks like the contractor's having a little bit of trouble dewatering for the lift station. John, did you learn anything new today on that?
Yeah, I did. Just to update, D&M excavating RG Underground, they installed like the 2,300 feet of 6-inch force main along the east side of County Road 950 West, and completed installation of about 2,000 feet of 6-inch force main along the south side of County Road 300 North to the lift station. They started excavating for the lift station, ran into groundwater. They would be watering for at least 10 days. Still, it's mucky. Today I went out there and they're driving sheet piles into the ground so they could excavate more.
How far off 421 is the lift station on 300?
It was originally proposed to be on the corner on 421, the southeast corner, but they couldn't get the sales of that property. So right now it's in front of D&M's property. It's on D&M's property.
Okay.
Right there to the entrance on the west side of the driveway.
Okay.
So.
Thanks. Yeah, because there's that culvert crossing right there too, right?
They're
Just
farther east of the culvert.
They're east of that yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's farther east yet.
So that's the update on that. I don't know why they didn't start for the 10 days, 2 weeks that they were trying to de-water. Why didn't they start on the west side with the gravity line, starting at waste management working this way? I couldn't get an answer from them why they didn't start that, but they sort of wasted about 2 weeks trying to de-water this. Nothing else going on. But that's the update.
Okay. Energy saving, adjusted rate savings for the May NIPSCO bill was $7,890.71. I'd like to call your attention to the last page on this thing. The way we've been running the plant, trying to keep this going, is we've increased our cost savings year over year since the beginning. We started out at $56,000, and now we're at $99,000. So that's keeping the proper trend going, in my opinion. The energy savings in kilowatts too it shows a similar sort of increase year over year. Any questions on that one?
No.
Good. Okay,
Very good, yes.
we've got a copy of the Blue Swag reporting in here for you. Those 2 stormwater jobs are an outgrowth of this program, as are some others. I will leave this to you to peruse at your convenience.
I'm gonna fall asleep tonight.
The sewer repair in the 1100 block of Earl Road in the alley. Had a construction agreement established with Scuda Construction. They're scheduled to begin on July 14th. And again, I would just remind everybody that this project is going to be paid for completely by with a block grant for a betterment of the sewer system in the neighborhood. And the cost for that job is going to be around $42,000. Item N, admin building structural evaluation. We entered into a PSA with Global Engineering for that after I was able to determine that they actually got a PhD structural engineer on staff for the last 4 years. On the staff reports, I guess I would just call your attention to Mr. Basil's report. He is basically functioning as the PM on this Earl Road sewer repair job. It's much like he did on Russell Street a couple years back. And with that, I'll turn it over to Attorney Meyer.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Jim, the floor is yours.
Well, we've been talking about this for a long time, the
Yeah,
transfer of the Renaissance sewer. And finally, you guys actually approved a version of this agreement a couple months ago. But one of the schedule attachments, Exhibit C, which doesn't affect us, but it has some effect on the geographical boundaries of the service area down the road. And so in order to make that up to date, so to speak, I asked that this be put on the agenda and that, it be approved and signed by the board, so there's no doubt that we're approving the final version. I don't know what Scott did with it, because I don't see it in here.
I have it. I didn't know that you wanted it, but I have it I'll discuss it with Tim.
Yeah, the only change, like I said, was something that doesn't affect us, but it affected the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District, and Abdu, I can't remember, the owner of the East Side Market. So,
And it's
I just
something-
recommend that it be approved, so I don't know how to do that when you don't have it.
Right.
Which exhibit is it?
Exhibit C, well, the best is just to vote to approve the contract, to approve the amended contract. The only thing that's amended, like I said, is something that really doesn't affect us.
And we were waiting on that when we approved the previous.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
I make a motion based on the advice of the attorney to approve the amended.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. The motion carries. Thank you. And you just need to get Tim and Holt's signature on that eventually.
Yeah,
You get the.
Scott will take care of that. And then it'll be, emailed around for the 1, 2, 3 other signatures that's going to be put on it. Since it will be recorded, it'll be notarized, so when you guys sign it, you'll see that there's a place for a notary.
Anything else for us?
No, I'll answer any questions if anybody has them.
Any questions of the board for our attorney? No? Not this time. Thank you. All right, item 13 on our agenda, approve and allow revenue and tax levy lanes for payment. You guys had a chance to look at our claims? Any comments, questions?
None, motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. The claims passed. Thank you very much. Old business. Do we have any old business? Does anyone have any old business? Old business? No? Hearing none. New business. Do we have any new business?
I just got a question on the Carwick dump site.
Yeah.
Does the south side belong to us beside the north side of the
We have both
hulking
sides
bridge?
of the creek, is that what you mean?
No, of the, where it starts on Carwick, on the, where we put the fence up there on the north side of Carwick?
Yes.
Is the south side of that, which would be the other side of the bridge, does that belong to us also, or is
No,
that?
that belongs to the railroad.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my only question, thanks.
Any other new business? New business, hearing none. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So fast.
I don't want to wait.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Next meeting, July 27th, here. Correct? Not at City Hall.
Right.
Gotta get used to that.